You know, I've always been confused by people who sum up a simple or basic thing as plain old vanilla. The fact is, vanilla is anything but plain. Welcome to another Steam Room episode, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. Let's talk vanilla. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're deeper into the DIY scene than most other mixers, at least beyond the beginning point. It's going to get pretty geeky up in here, and while we are going to look at some potential pairings for vanilla later in this video, first I want to show you some of the history of vanilla. By the way, you may hear me say vanilla a million times in this video. Not my fault. Vanilla is one of those powerful ingredients we use all the time, but most take for granted. Whether the vanilla extract is in your chocolate chip cookies or scraped vanilla beans for custard or ice cream, vanilla is useful in all kinds of recipes with so many uses and so many different types from bourbon to Mexican, Indian to Madagascar. Vanilla is a prevalent ingredient whose value cannot be overstated. Every advanced mixer out there realizes if he's to master his craft, if he's to truly attain his goal of that perfect mix, that it recipe that connects his taste buds to his soul. I know that's a little dramatic, but you know what I'm talking about. We must study our ingredients. We must become intimate with our ingredients. Part of that process, actually, a lot of that process involves reading and doing quite a bit of it. Of course, using that ingredient hands-on is going to play a major role as well. And as boring as reading may sound, things can become quite interesting when you begin digging and you have a real interest in learning your flavors. You really do find a deeper appreciation for your ingredients. So, were you aware vanilla is derived from a flower called the orchid? As a mixer, I'm sure you've seen pictures on eSig Express and other sites displaying this image, primarily for flavor arts, I believe. Up until the early 1840s, it was virtually impossible to transport and grow outside of Mexico and South America. And that's because vanilla can only be grown naturally 10 to 20 degrees north and south of the equator. In fact, 75% of vanilla today is derived from Madagascar and the island of Reunion. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The rest of the world's crop comes from Mexico and Tahiti. Mexican vanilla is touted as being smoother, darker, and richer than vanilla from Tahiti and Madagascar. Tahiti is said to have heavier floral notes, and this is certainly true when it comes to flavor arts Tahitian vanilla, at least in my personal experience. Now, knowing the key differences between your vanillas is going to assist in choosing the perfect one for the recipe you're making. So one could definitely come to appreciate and benefit from knowing the geography because it ties directly into vanilla's characteristics. Another thing you may be unaware of, right behind saffron, which also comes from a flower, vanilla is the second most expensive spice in the world. This is because it is very labor intensive to obtain. When commercially grown outside of these areas, it must be hand planted, hand pollinated, and hand scraped. During a very short window, the flower is open. To break it down just a little bit more, don't worry, we're not going too in-depth here. The flower that produces the vanilla bean lasts only one day. The beans are hand-picked, then cured, wrapped, and dried in a process that takes 4 to 6 months. So people put a lot of work into getting vanilla into our hand. Knowing this makes me appreciate the flavor that much more. Did you ever wonder why vanilla is so soothing? Now, everyone and their mama knows chocolate is considered an aphrodisiac. But did you know that vanilla was also considered an aphrodisiac? In Europe, vanilla was once used in the production of medicines such as nerve stimulants and, aphrodisiacs. This would explain why vanilla custard is the Mac Daddy of DIY. Wouldn't you agree? In 1841, a 12-year-old slave by the name of Edmond Albius, I'll link more about him in the description below. It actually is a pretty enjoyable read. He opened the doors to making vanilla more widely available in the world by successfully becoming the first to hand pollinate an orchid. An important thing to note here, that bottle of vanilla concentrate you've got in your cupboard or in your hands, it's not real vanilla. A more often than not great interpretation of vanilla, but not real vanilla. It's made from a synthetic called vanillin, which at this point all DIYers should be familiar with, which is made from petrochemicals. These chemicals are a garbage byproduct of the paper and wood industry, and eugenol, which is a component of clove oil. There is another source of vanillin too, beavers. Yep, good old Canadian beavers. It can be extracted from castoreum, which there's really no way around this, but it's the secretion from those anal glands of beavers. But don't worry about that. Literally a fraction, about 0.5% of the world's vanillin comes from those little guys and their little holes. So now that we've pretty much exhausted the backstory on vanilla, not quite actually. There's actually quite a bit more information pertaining to vanilla out there, but for time's sake and attention spans, we'll talk a little bit about what you can do with it in our Eliquid. Actually, we won't talk about it. I'll just use a overlay to kind of show what pairings are suggested for vanilla. A quick Google search will show you what you can pair with vanilla and what is suggested to be paired with vanilla. So yep, that's it. Let me know if you guys enjoy these kinds of videos. I find the history of these flavors quite interesting, and hopefully you do too. I'd like to do more videos like this in the future. So until next time, guys, keep mixing, stay elevated, and cloud salute.